Hello, and welcome to Rule the Wave Street, playing as Japan on Super Large Plus Plus. We have made it to episode 92. It's 1950. We are fighting France. Fun fact, I start every introduction while fighting the French, saying that I'm playing as the French because, well, France is my main, if you can have a main in this game. But anyway, we are fighting the French. We are invading in Algeria, or actually fighting on the ground in the Antilles and in Algeria. But before we crack on with the war, we will do the start of year review and we will do the 5-year summary. So let's jump in. Should be very familiar by now. 1950. So, we've been at war for 17 months. I had a hope that this war would end very quickly, like the one against Germany, but alas, it did not. I now have an ally, an unlikely ally. The Spanish got very upset with the French, and yeah, you can also see that the US is pretty upset with France. So, they are fascists and everything, so yeah, I didn't actually note that down, but you can see there is quite a bit of tension there. US is also slightly upset with Spain, but not as much as France, so this could go either way, but most likely nothing will come of it. So anyway, Spain declared war, then asked me to join. So now I have an alliance with the Spanish, which gives me full basing in the North Atlantic, which I will definitely try to keep going. And there is even Cuba. So if we can keep Cuba and the Spanish on our side, that would actually be a good thing. Otherwise, not so much of interest here. Base resources are up. I mean, normally you'd be happy with 1455, 45. But the US is up by thousands. They are up to 90 now, so you can see that the gap here is has grown to over 20%. Well over 20%, and it's just gonna keep going because of compounding maths. Colony resources are down 350 in 1 year. This is ridiculous. I don't want to talk about it. Budget modifier is quite tragic. It stays at 18 throughout the entire year. But not for the NPCs, of course. The AI nations get more money, especially the US, since they have such a huge economy and they are not at war, then they need more budget. Budget, yeah, build, it's horrendous. No point talking about it. We talked it to death in the last episode. So my budget is basically the same as last year. Pretty pedestrian. We still need to expand docks by one more. Why is there an 8 here? Great Britain somehow keeps building. Italy is up to 85. It's quite pointless. Yeah, I took out the numbers for Great Britain and and US because we can see where this is going. They are now up to quite a bit more than me. So whatever. My build plans are also basically the same, but they have been put on hold by the war. So yeah, again, tragic. We got 2 new techs, super carriers, very important, and CV battle group. I find that one relatively unimportant, but whatever. How many years since we got a gun that we didn't steal, but we actually developed it? I think that was the 17-inch quality 0. So I've been researching guns and on high or for a little while medium. But we still don't have quality 1 6-inch. We haven't managed to buy it, steal it, or develop it. And again, we have every other gun, I think, now. Even some 7-inch guns. So it's not like 6-inch guns could be a secret or anything. But it's rule the waves where everything is time gated or otherwise limited. So yeah, and there is nothing you can do here. This is part of a period of the game where there's not really any real research, I would say. You just get the techs. You still accumulate points and time gates, and then you get the techs. So the time for when tech was interesting, that's past. Both my new light jet fighters are poor. We researched one ourselves, and then we got an offer that we also took because they were pretty similar, so we wanted to have a look at them. So both are poor. So this one that I got from the private venture, we can just make it obsolete. Poor is, of course, very bad. And I missed the old one, but nothing can be done. We got a C model for the torpedo bomber, and it has one more firepower, almost as much as fighter. We are transitioning between fighters, but but they were shot down in droves in the last carrier battle we had, mostly I think because I was too impatient and didn't send them out in groups with enough escorts, and the enemy has light jet fighters on cap and all of that, so my own fault. But yeah, overall boring. I'm gonna finish the game, but right now it's pretty tedious. Those last 6 months of 49, those were a punch straight to the gut. Quick facts. Possessions. I just put yes here. I've taken lots and lots of possessions, but in 5 years, instead of being like 4,000, they have almost halved. I get it. The colonial era is over, but it makes no sense. The budget modifier is down to. But we are at war instead of at peace, so it's basically the same. The budget, the fleet size is the same because I scrapped so many tons just now. We fought a total of 11 wars, and we are in a war right now, so I don't think I ever played a game with 12 wars by 1950. Quite unprecedented. That's, yeah. We're still on 5 years per war, including the actual war. So the time spent, if each war lasts 2.5 years on average, then we have been at war half the time. Resource growth, I think it's okay. It's end game, so it's fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. This is basically the same as before. Our position hasn't really changed. We picked up a few more areas from the Germans, including Norway. So our solid position in Northeast Europe is even better. And we have a presence in West Africa. And we've strengthened our hold of the Indian Ocean even more. But substantially, there is no change. But we are building bases and trying to make further inroads into the Caribbean and the North American East Coast. So there is that, and we are now going to transition the fleet again to jet carriers and missiles. So we have a plan. And I adjusted the power rating because the US has sort of... We closed in on them, but they have that rapid growth, so they are just going to keep growing into the sky for the next 20 or so years. If you remember my France run, the US insisted on being my bestest friends ever. So we had this vague endgame plan there as well to engage the US, but it was absolutely impossible to get into a war with them. So we're down to A tier. Let's be realistic. US is in S tier. Germany then must be in the B tier. I don't think Great Britain has recovered enough. Their economy is fairly strong, but their fleet is very small. So they belong there, down there in France land. Russia and Italy follows, then Spain, then China. But this also hasn't changed much since our previous planning, and I'm listing this as a sort of a 10-year plan, but it focuses on the first 5 years. But this is the end game stage. So basically, transition to the missile era. We have to start dealing with the US soon because they get stronger and stronger and stronger. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. So it's better to have a war with them soon-ish than wait until 60-something, and it will be even harder. So if we can deal them a blow now, and then re-engage them later, that would be absolutely the best. And if we time this until we have our first true jet carriers, we have refitted and new builds with plenty of missiles, then I think we can deal them a severe blow. But they will have mass. So we need time to reorganize and build. Those super carriers don't build themselves, and we need to train up fighters and all of that. So 40, 54, maybe as late as 55. It would be much easier if the US Great Britain alliance actually ended and we were able to take on Great Britain on its own first and establish a stronger foothold in those two sea areas. And then we could take on the US separately, first one time, then another time. That would be ideal, but it could be that their alliance will last for the rest of the game. There are democracies after all. Anyway, let's jump in. So here we are, it's January. We are forcefully in the Northern Europe section with the Spanish blockading the French, and we have total control of the Mediterranean, and we're controlling the Caribbean. So everything is going according to plan, and we even can use some of these Spanish bases. 20, this is good. No, just 20. This one just 20. Okay. Anyway, yeah, only New Brunswick and Norway are still building, and Norway is almost done. And after that, I don't anticipate building many bases. Would be sweet to take Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, the other way around, Bermuda especially, and Grand Bahama, to a certain extent Kingston, I mean Jamaica of course, and Trinidad, but that's not completely necessary. But there will be quite a few battles here and in this area, so the more bases we have, the better. Cruise direction, do they have cruise? No. Auto resolve. Sorry about that. Enemy gains 100 victory points. Wow. Improved jet engines. Kind of weird because I think jet engines unlock in 1950. So. Another month of nothing burger. Obsolete it. Yeah. Transitioning, but this is essentially obsolete now. So let's get it out of here. Let's see if we can save some money. This one I noticed doesn't have a long range, which is a huge oversight on my part, so you probably have to redo that a bit, but that's okay. I also shuffled around some destroyers in the back here. All my battleships are mothballed, and very big chance we will never use these. I mean, they are not bad ships, but they are getting rather old. They are almost 30 years old. No, 20 years old. Tosas are 25 years. Ideally, we should build some new ones, but okay. Yeah, air groups. Nassau. Oh, I want Nassau, colon, Panama, St. John, Hong Kong, Colombo, Rangoon. But we can put them into reserve. Don't need them to be active. This we can disband because it will never be relevant. Same with this one, disband. Reykjavik, disband. Disband. Can go low on China, Intel, low on Spain, medium on Italy, medium on those guys. Let's give it a turn. And instead of using the real interceptor, okay, so it attaches. Okay, it's two 1200 tonners. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, nothing. No. Well, that was exciting. No, it back. Own game. 97 jets. Is it? 300 Algeria. Yay! Antilles. Yay! Yeah, we need to rework it. What happened? Okay. No, it's long. Why did it display not as long? I don't know. Huh. That was weird. 32 knots long. We have a little bit of tonnage left as well. We have developed nothing new, so this is fine. This is not possible, so we will build ship on build ship. Where are you? Okay, so we are now building 6 jet carriers, including super carriers. So we will have a follow-up force to the follow-up pair to the super carriers, of course. I feel that it is important to get this rolling because if we start with another pair in a few months, we probably can't afford that, so we will have to wait until these clear. So then we will be well into 55, 56 before we see that last pair of super carriers. So yeah. Yannick. Is this the possession? I mean, if Fence Point Coast, I mean, I can transfer an aircraft there from Cork, I guess. A fighter from Cork, no. Medium bomber, naval patrol aircraft from Alexandria. Transfer to Mombasa? Is that the right place? Dar es Salaam, Tanga. We can do this. We can do. No. One more defense point. One coast battery. Well, we just have to trust in the algorithm. But okay, we have taken Antilles, so we will build our classic 2 fortifications, and not an important one, but it will come into. Now we have 130. It's not super, but with the right collection of long-range ship and land-based air, we have a triangle here. I think it can be solid. Only have this one in New Brunswick. I mean, it won't do anything revolutionary, but it will bring us up to 130. So again, not horrible. And we are at 300 in Northern Europe, so that's good. 400 in the Med. How much in West Africa? 60. It's enough to sort of feel the force. It's not super impressive, but we beat everyone else. That's the important part. Yeah. Don't feel that we're overstacked. This is a good battle fleet. This is a good battle fleet. This fleet we do not need anymore, however, because they have completed their assignment, so we can leave the light cruisers and 2 groups of destroyers, but these guys can go back to Northeast Asia. I mean, we can go invade New Caledonia, but it's I mean, it's so pointless that yeah, I'll try not to talk about the lost continent rising from the Pacific in our Shadowrun campaign. Very exciting. Oh, I talked about it anyway. No. So this was the primary war goal. Decimating the French fleet, also a war goal. Taking this, a war goal. But now we are after reparations. So I would actually want this to end. But construction to maintenance, it's still too high. Cruiser battle, will it happen? No. Cruiser action, will it happen? It's probably the best that we are going to get, but there is no upside to it, so no. That was a battle cruiser mission. Okay. Fair enough. I find that incredibly unlikely, but okay. Nah, nothing is going to happen. Unfortunately. I don't think they contribute anything. Oh. So between the Spanish and... Okay. I get it. I get it. They are blockaded but dominate. Yeah. Keep, whatever. We could invade, but I don't feel like it. Let the French have their stupid little colonies. And indeed, we will send these to Northern Europe. Radar 5. Improved anti-missile jamming. That's convenient. Yeah. Nice. Oh, no, not Puerto Rico. I mean, we want the Spanish. No. This is completely unlikely, but yeah. Okay, so we crushed the rebels. That's nice. So that means these ships, status active, they can just go home to Northeast Asia. Stand down. Central Pacific, so these would reach, yeah. Do we have a raider here now? Yeah. Do they have any raiders here? No. Well, ships under construction. Can be fitted for radar 6. I think that's the only thing that we want to do. Unless we have unlocked bigger. No. But this one will be called Kaga in honor of someone. Yeah, I know. Not happening. They are blockaded. Convoy defense. Okay. I'll accept that. Been a while since we have sunk anything interesting. This enemy airfields is fine. Known radar contact. That was very quick. Oh, so we made it to May. 12 hours. This is our convoy, our attackers. We have that boring fresh breeze again. So it's only 22 for the battle cruisers, if I remember. No, it's 28. I always get confused. Yeah, I think we can just release the rocket. Oh, I get my missiles. I get... I get one with missiles. Wow. I love it when the AI decides to just goof things up completely. Wow. Manual fire at CA. Yeah, so not even that is possible. Oh, it already launched. I didn't have it on fire at will, but it's still launched. Okay, yeah, whatever. Then it's fine. I was hoping I had all my... Yay. Critical hit on here, fire control damage. That's not gonna be good. I'm gonna specifically only send my missile destroyers to the North Atlantic after this. So no, none of my ships are capable of hitting. A little bit of complaining helped. A little bit of complaining helped. This one has 11 6-inch guns, and this one has 9 15-inch guns. This one has 9. I mean, they are powerful, but now they are going for that sweet T-capping. Could we call it knee-capping? It's a super way off. I mean, you know, when your battle cruisers auto-launch torpedoes, then the enemy is in a pretty bad spot. On fire. Try not to get torpedoed by too many destroyers. So if we circle around like this, maybe our destroyers will come join us. I don't know. Oh, that was a long range shot. Wow, impressive little destroyers. Now your master is by a torpedo. Okay. Sure where that came from, but it could be this destroyer. This is dangerous. I like it. Probably not worth it, but flooding 317, that's pretty rough. Probably need to take direct control of this one. They have a few destroyers too many, I would say. But there is the battleship, so through this. And it's slowed down, so I mean, it's worth it. Where are my convoys at? Oh, they are right next to me. Well, not right next to me, but right next to my friends. Moderate breeze. Oh, 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 oh. Was it even moving? Possibly. Okay. We ate a couple of torpedoes. But Woohoo! No losses, total annihilation of the enemy as more or less as predicted. Only took light damage. That was 46,000 tons. Pretty hot ship. Also pretty good. 64 medium, 63 heavy. Yeah, look at this. We are just slicing right. Belt engine room. That stops 17 inches actually, so pretty decent. But ultimately uninteresting. Steam catapults. The model of the torpedo bomber. Okay. Nigeria. Rushed Puerto Rico. That's a good trade. 1 battle cruisers for 2 corvettes. Good battle generation there. Rework the design with steam catapults. Why does it skip behind there? I don't think it actually does anything for us. No. I think the way it works is it helps with the light jets or something. I never quite understood steam catapult. It says reduces the carrier displacement of heavy jet 30 times. Oh, okay. Yeah. And I understand, but all my carriers are much bigger than that anyway, because small carriers are not impressive. Yes, this means we can consider scaling back our other engagements in the Med, because Algeria be, I guess, 2 and cheap ones built to maintain, so it's a decent enough investment. Now we control the Med completely, I would say. 500 basing. Indian Ocean is 250. New Brunswick is done in 7. Dublin is expand. They're all fine, but expand, and New Antilles. The Antilles have no airbase. That's not good. Yeah, we need to maximize our air bases, of course. But that's gonna cost a little bit, but it's fine. So type. The French have no surface fleet. No matter what they build, they can never contest this interred. No, whatever they do, they can never contest my 4 battle cruisers. Oh. Okay. And we have these guys. They have reached Northeast Asia, so can be mothballed. Are on trade protection, that's fine. Northern Europe repairing, that's fine. Now I have... How many carriers do the France have? They have... Okay, I need to keep my carriers on station for the time being. But my division editor, expand all. Move division to Northeast Asia. Move division to East Asia. Move to Caribbean. East Asia. I don't feel like invading anything. Just gonna blockade him to death now. Carrier battle. That could be a good thingy. Is he gonna bite? Oh yes, he's gonna bite. He has no surface assets to speak of. 4 CVs, 3 CVLs, 1 battle cruiser, and a handful of sad destroyers. I get 6 carriers, but just in one big blob. I hate it when they do this 3 and 1. Why can't they split them in 2 and 2? 1 battle cruiser. Ah, the other ones are repairing anyway. Enemy ships in general. And we're not gonna play this out in this episode, but we can have a quick look at things. So it's June and we're pretty far north, so you can see it kind of be sunrise, but it's actually it's night. It's around midnight, but it's not quite dark. And in a few hours it will be light because it will rotate. Rotate. I can't. And yeah, and we have some land base. We haven't really moved any air to Norway, I realize now. Why didn't I do that? Reykjavik is no longer relevant. I could have done that, but okay, that's fine. We are heading out. We have no subs, probably because we are all out of subs. Yeah, we only have 3 subs left. But that's fine. So we have lots of carriers, and I think we have... well, the squadrons are full, but the availability isn't too great at the start of the scenario here. We've been fighting for a long time now, so now we have more missiles. We have 30 plus missiles on each carrier, so that's good. So we have between us more than 200 missiles. That's gonna hurt. And I guess 500 torpedoes. It sounds painful. I still wish I had more jet fighters, so maybe a mistake not to convert more squadrons to jet, but fair enough. It looks very straightforward, very carriery. So somewhere in this region we will find the enemy and we will bomb him to smithereens. I will take that one battle cruiser and 3 light cruisers and some destroyer out for a little spin. Wind favors us tremendously because we must turn to the east-northeast, and so will the enemy, so we will have to go slightly away from us and up along the coast. That I think will narrow down the search area a little bit. No, but yeah, that'll be for the next episode. Yeah, second half certainly picked up. Our invasions went through. That's good. Then we can start sending people home and stand them down. We don't need additional basing Southwest Africa or in the South Pacific. That's irrelevant now. We have eyes on the prize, and that's the Caribbean and Northeast America, and I guess Alaska eventually as well. And I'm also looking forward to this carrier battle. It's gonna be mostly daylight, so if the weather holds, it could be very interesting. If I can manage to actually find the bloody carriers this time, I think I will do what I usually don't want to bother with. I will make little scout groups, mostly of dive bombers, armed missiles, and just send them out, see what they can find. Can be pretty effective, but it's very micromanaging. But yeah, I'm not as bitter as I was when this episode started because I was really getting bored. It's also fun to have some missiles launched. Now I've been very clever. I've sent, I hope, away every destroyer that's not a missile arm. There may be a few exceptions because I think we had some repairing. They can perhaps have snuck back into the order of battle, but mostly we should have our 8 and 16, about 30 missile armed destroyers. So if we see the enemy, it can become fun. If we can hit chances aren't super great at this stage, but I hope we can get some hits in. It's always glorious when those missiles start slamming into the bad guys. Anyway, thanks for watching and see you again soon.